Communication, high channeling, high interference location, neutrons, electrons, protons, photons, neurons. It's all calculated modified high stream. To understand that the data highline center and interference location is all levels. Placebo cortex is at position locations. It accelerates its time centers. Calculation modifications to all of those clocking system. So try to understand that each letter represents you inside. It's amazing how it has a placebo cortex in each cell position. 24 clocking centers, 24 computer interference location to one cell position. The atom line center is extremely powerful when you come into neutralizing. It's incredible force when you reach those levels. It's all about understanding the acceleration to all position locations, mocking channels, interference channeling, rotation line conditions, interference line conditions, operation cycle, rotation line condition. It's all positioned for you to understand every particle in your body represents you through travel of thought. Now, if we take an acceleration time switch, it's interesting it comes into high center. An acceleration time switch is alphabet line interference. Okay, so we got one line graph system in calculations, in rotation, in calculation line system, right? Now, neutralize its high line center interference. Understand the particle line conditions, how it travels the position location line conditions. It opens all line center interference. Understand your calculation is modified to high system. It locates its division location, its calculation. All right, so as you travel to high centers, your clocking center is position locations to all levels. This is where it comes into a quart. Point line center interference, 144 high line rotations into 244, okay, into 344, all right? Now, when you go to higher level rotations, you no longer in calculation of 24 sequence, 24 clocking. Your cells are going so fast, you can't even see them. To understand the top position to its high line center is allocated to switching. So you understand how you can change one cell line center, change the atom rotation, take the all line conditions back in calculation, high level system to its stream. Now, exactly what am I saying through calculation? This is all done through formation of alliance. But it's amazing how it comes in position locations all through travel. 144, 244, 344. High division location line conditions. Mocking channels on a clocking center. Its rotation to its position locations, a 4-channel line center location. All right. So it's interesting when we high rise to high information line centers. Every cell in your body represents you through emotional system. So you got your graph line interference and rotations. Let's say we go through 4-channel line rotation calculations. All right. These are high line centers, screen centers, calculation modification system. All right. Now, understand how the particle system works. Each one has a representation of a T reception line, bringing in its position to its force line condition. All right. So we got 6 box channels in communication cycle, resetting line center to graph interference. So it's calculated and modified to high rotation to its code signal, lacing lines in rotation to a T reception, right? Antenna interference in position of program rotation, calculation all lines, in calculation rotation line interference. Now we detract the line center and position location line conditions, all right? So all position locations 3, 6, 9, 12, okay? 16 and high center line interference. So a calculation modification all levels. So you got 6 particle line centers in position locations. You got 6 light centers in particle line interference, and you got 6 rotation system to a T reception. Calculation modification line condition rotation interference. Now we change the fluctuation line conditions. This is how I calculate and modify, because when I was charging my mechanisms, I went from 8.8 trillion line centers of graph interference of information coming all levels of your atom line center. It's extremely complicated if you don't understand the position to the data stream. It calculates in all levels to its antennas, communication cycles, interference, program location, news calculation. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Not only this is on a cellular level, but it's not just on an atom level. It's on the core line center of every cell that's in your body that neutralizes all connections to your protons, electrons, photons, and neutrons, and anything to calculation of neurons. The plasticity and its line center is extremely powerful in position locations to all levels. Each realm represents you through your visionary. The visionary line center is its connection to its cortex. You have your frontal lobe and you have your back lobe stream. That calculates all levels of the microchip that's in the back of the neck. It opens all tract center and position locations to all levels to your T reception line connections, right? So it opens all channel position locations in its position. Now, this is where you come into 144, 244, and 344. High channel, high line, center line interference. So it's to understand that your body is nothing but information. This is where you come into levels of a data stream. Okay, data stream to line signals. Okay, so let's say we have 4 waving lines in calculations, right? Now each line represents particle light stream interference. So let's just say that one cell position is 24 computers. So that's 24 line centers. Okay, 24 line centers. So you got 2 and you got 4 and you got 3. You got 3 weather patterns. You got a question line center and you got high line center location, the percentage interference. Right there it is right there. That's one data stream. Okay. Now each data stream, its high system locations. 2 equals its equation. Okay. So slash box calculation. Right? Gets complicated, right? So it's amazing how you go through force lines. Now it goes into 4 line center interference equals 0. Okay. Slash box. Okay. Equals communication. All right. So it's interesting how you go into 3 line center. Now 3 position locations, all levels, anything the part of line center. Each cell represents its position location to one solar system. So each particle light is a protection to its calculation to its digital framing. So modify high line centers. So we got 3 equals triangle. Okay. High line centers equals A equals communication. So in modification line center, you have to send the data stream codes. It puts it position locations. So the equal line center is its connections to interpretation line division. Okay. And it basically scans its side line center to its mountain interface. Calculation modification line connection. Interference and channels. Communication line center locations. Question equals 0. Box position locations, right? Slash division of location, right? Modify signals in rotation line centers. In position location, the division. Now, it tracks the high line center to electrical lights. It panels its interference to all levels. This is where you come into your pre-flights communication. Check. It disappears the high signal. So as we come into division line connections, it separates the high line center. Okay, so equal line connections to separation. Okay, overload, right? Slash overload equals equation. All right. In position line center, there's a data stream. That's a matrix, communication line stream locations. 4 waving cycles in high line center interference of waving system. Calculation modify all levels of streams. So it's truly understanding what's going through calculations, right? Code signal line interference locations. Codes are set up to all levels. Run program locations, all connections, right? Into the crews, the units, the squads 1 and 2 in position locations. All levels of GFLs, the rebellion. Set the course line center to ascending mass locations. R line channels and high rotation line connections. Country interference line connections. KI9 communication line center orientations. And calculation modification stream center. Modification system locations. Set up the code system locations. Done through equation. Now you guys are traveling all through the code stream of data formation, right? 30 minutes. Have fun. Gonna get some water. Ooh-ah. All right, so you can understand why it's so important to understand upgrades and how it's in division location to its calculation. It's incredible how you travel through all code streams. To understand the data processing, if you understand the computer adaptation system, it's all calculated and modified through you guys, all through streaming. But it's incredible how you travel through this, all through calculation. All right. How is everybody doing? Let's see. Back forcing channel here. Okay. Jessica, how you doing? Teresa, how's it going? Michaela, how's it going? Larry, how's it going? Amy, how's it going? JP, how's it going? Let's see. Terry, how's it going? Don, how's it going? Jill, how's it going? Airbender, how's it going? Johnny, how's it going? Michael, how's it going? Gingy, how's it going? Gypsy, how's it going? Christine, how's it going? Corporal, how's it going? Matthew, how's it going? Pam, how's it going? Nina, how's it going? All right, so everything I give you, this is the fascinating part. Each line represents you to your body frame location. So each channel line center is an alphabetical connection, which is one letter represents one position location to one cell to one atom. So it's all position location. All this is representing you through travel. I just show you exactly what it is through codes and how it's set up through streams. So it's amazing how everything is set up, and all this list line center is in position locations to travel through each position of its vibration location to its attachments. High signal locations, all calculation. So, Belinda, how's it going? Eric, Michelle, Yolanda, Sambo, Val, Chris, Jane, Russ, Michael. All right, it's great to see everybody. Make sure you get your grounds, make sure you drink your water. It's amazing too, because when you get past position locations, understand your particles, and it gets easier as we go through positions, alpha, beta, theta, omega, delta connections. Yeah, it's all levels of U. Just trying to understand how to use it. Heather, how's it going? Gary, how's it going? Missy. All right. Field's activated. Good. It's great to see that connections. Yep. Just travel through the light behind journal. Yep. All through codes, guys. All through codes. Right? So you understand what's so fascinating. Each intelligence has its own line signal in calculations. So each one represents you in your behavior line center, location of its track. So each one has a placebo cortex. Powerful how you travel through all position locations through a data stream. Right? That's what you see on a computer. That's what you see in the matrix. So everything's behavioral. Everything is metric. Everything is division. Everything's calculation. Everything's travel to acceleration. Just have to learn how to calculate and modify division lines, system locations, and tactics on travel locations of clocking. So, Chris. All right. Let's see here. Flywheel, scrambler activated, balancing heart frequency, patterns and crew. Johnny, how's it going? Yeah. No, it's incredible force, I'll tell you. It really is. Once you get a provision. Yeah. Ellen, how you doing? Things get easier once you understand what's inside you and how it's activated. And just think how fast it's going. And just in knowing that everything inside you is representing everything. Okay, through behavioral. Your behavioral is its connections to its data stream because it's changing everything. So if you change your thoughts, you're changing your particle system, and it's moving to a different color, different light, different travel, different recognition, different time, different frequency, different vibration, people. Okay. So particles and rainbow mix, bring them the other way. Good. Travel is a little bit different, guys. You're going through particle systems now. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a lot different, guys. It's a totally different travel. Just got to get used to it. You know, central line your connections, interference, stay your grounds, drink your water. Right. All right. Terran. There's a lot of solar text divisions here. Let's go through calculation here. All right. Great. Andy. Yep. Everybody feels different. Your travels are on a core level now, guys. It's on a core level. It's all about understanding how to operate everything inside you. Right? Quicker and faster. So, yeah. So, just knowing how powerful it is to get anything to its connection of its TV reception lines. Right? It's incredible force when you travel through these things. All level connections to your data streams. All right? Really understand that, how it modifies all levels of you, your photons, your electrons, your neutrons, how it all works, the neurons, the plasticity, light conditions, electrical lights, electrical panels, electrical interference. It's all levels of intelligence and behavior of you, which is stored inside of you. So you have to understand, you change behavior lines center. Let's say you go through box system. All right, so you go through a box, right? Now, high division location of point system. That's a point line center. Okay. Now you can set up sonar lining and rotation. Okay. See how it travels? So in that connections comes into calculation. See? Calculation, right? Zip, zap, zoom. In calculation to an XC1000 line, right? So there's a lot of ways to set up position locations and calculations. So to understand, each data stream has 12 lines. Okay. When you get those 12 lines, 12 equals all levels connections of letters, right? 12 equals letters. And then you get calculations of 12 position locations equals numbers, okay? Letters and numbers, right? You start with that. And then you come into 12 line center equals locations of shapes. And then 12 line centers equal locations of symbols, letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols, okay? Now, that is your data stream. Okay, to start off, you guys are in high line interference locations of 0, 1s. You have a long way to go. So you already know how to calculate the equation line center. Now, the equation line center is offline position. If it's offline position, put it in track system, done through equation. So it's trying to understand how to set things up, how to understand the body more through formation, how you can triangulate all line connections. So you got 12 line centers, 12 division locations, and 12 activation cycles. There's a triangulation right there. Now the clocking system can be on position locations in 144. Okay. The 12 line center locations can be on 244. Okay. And the 12 interference location can be on 344, all through Mach, right? All through triangulation. That's extremely fast to travel. Now, the particle light center comes into all cortex line conditions. It's all about understanding the console communication, right? How to use it through division. Now, the teleportation light comes into track center. Now, the track center comes into higher level positions. So you get the XT1000s coming in formation, 4-line triangle locations, right? See them above? So the high interference locations, they come in scan, right? So they come in a coloration line change. If the placebo cortex is in a high division location, it's going to change the tract centers into 244 to 344 to 144 into high-line center rotations of 544. Okay, so that high position at its high center scans position location of the 12, scans position location of the 12, scans position location of the 12, scans position locations of the grounds. High rotation interference location line condition. So, like I said, it's truly understanding to get into this first. Right? Your 12 DNA represents you through your 7 bodies of water. Now, that 7 bodies of water is set in signal. That's why it's important to drink water when you're traveling. So, 7 plus 5 is 12. Right? Plus 5 equals 12, right? 7 rotation equals grounds. Okay? 5 in atmosphere. Okay? Sonar line center equals space. Okay? Space-time. So it's truly understanding how to use the alphabetical lines of the matrix locations. You have to start off with letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols, guys. That's your data stream. Once you get into a higher level system to your particle line centers and you get better information, location, mind telepathy, you start communicating to the levels inside. You get in calculations to higher formations of codes. So it's very powerful what it is, the calculations, right? Data, okay, equals stream. It's all calculated and modified. So it's a ring graph line, center line interference. Okay, data equals stream. So coming into the stream equals its line center rotation interference to its high connections to its channel line center location. All right, scans position locations to its high center. See? Comes into communication, circle line center of data communication cycles to its position, right? So there's a lot of things that you can set up once you get into the particle lights, your atoms, your molecular light. Molecular light is extremely fast. Let's say you got a point system there, point system here, 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 point system here. All right, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you triangulate it in position location to its line condition, comes a graph. All right, its location to its position. All right, the triangulation is its circle operation line center. Now it's to understand how position location add the graph line center to a diamond core position. Okay, coming in communication cycles, you can basically set another triangulation, right? And then you can set another triangulation, right? See, that comes into form. See, so it's to understand that the placebo comes into cortex line through sonar, sets position locations to its graph, right? So it's to understand how to use the calculation modification to its ground centers, okay, to its fluctuation to the center point. See the center point? It comes in position location to all levels, flux capacitor, all right? So it's your understanding what you're doing through drawing, which you are doing through travel, but then you always calculate back in position locations to your data stream. How things are set up is all sets of you, okay? There's so many set waving cycle locations, what it is, the division locations. 12 line centers of letters, 12 line centers of numbers, 12 line centers of symbols, and 12 line centers of shapes in calculation of levels. You guys are starting off at 0.1. So you're getting calculations better in communication cycles, the high channel lights, high system locations, you get back in communication out of confusion, more in a track center, right? But it's the placebo that is its position location to its visionary. The cortex line to its calculation is all levels of data stream. Very, very fast. So you start off with 4 track line centers. When you understand more of your cell generation light conditions, it comes into higher levels of more stream locations to its position, right? That sets up a whole compilation line center to its TV reception line. Okay. So as you're coming in position location, you cross streamline center interference, right? So you can downshift highline center and change position locations, line conditions, all levels. It's all about what you're doing with your emotional track location, right? So, and then you come into your ring graph line center, okay? So let's say you're using a rainbow activation line stream. Now, a rainbow activation line stream is a nature line condition, right? So you get a graph interference and you're following the signal up position location and calculation, right? So you can downshift at high line center, or you can go upshift in high rotation to its snake graph system. Modifies its high line center, understand communication. So when you're looking at a wall, that's exactly what it looks like. So you have to treat us to how to use electrical grids, electrical panels, plasma lights, plasma force, plasma communication to all level position line center. Now, it's all about understanding that you are protecting everything from inside. It's protecting all level system. The particle system has its own plasma light energy line condition. That's its own energy field. It rotates its location line conditions. So you come into position light in high system line conditions. This is what it looks like, right? So the wall, once you understand perception, is what it communicates in high line and rotation. Now, purple change line center, all communication is sun, rotation, interference, all connections, right? So when you start looking at a wall, this is what you see. So once you go past that, you come into the number sequence, all right? So that automatically represents its heart line center. So like I said, every alphabetical line stream to one letter is its acceleration location to one heart division. Now that's the graph interference. That sets its correlation to its position, all right? So let's change the channel line and rotation. Graph interference line conditions, electrical lights, panel line interference, or graph interference. Now, it's to understand how to change high system. If it changes its position location, the particle light center, it changes its line condition of its confusion. See how it travels? When it's traveling, it travels its high line center, back in communication, high rotation to its position location. Your behavior line center changes its line center in second per second, high rotations of 24 hours, and a 7-day sequence location to its connection. Ooh-ah. All this information. So you have to truly understand this is how the cells work in your body. Because the thing is, you truly have to understand what travel is. It's all levels of you. You just have to understand the acceleration again in connections to your data stream. All right. So it's incredible force when you see these things. Once they come out of vision, they're now in your intelligent locations. You can go into graph line center. See the little box centers? All right. So if you go into a box center, it changes high connections. And again, you can set up the graph, right? Graph is extremely important when it comes to the heart lines. So let's say you go through an alpha stream, and then you go through a delta stream, and then you go through intelligent form, and then you go through a communication cycle to a box system location. See that? Isn't that amazing? All through a graph line center, you can use shapes, letters, and numbers or symbols. So it's incredible how you do that through high connections. Isn't that amazing? It's absolutely incredible what you can do through a graph interference. It changes its position to its visionary equals cortex, people. Yes. Cortex, the visionary cortex line center graph interference locations, right? So I'm showing you how powerful it is of what your body consumes inside of you through intelligence. It's extremely, extremely powerful stuff. So when you open those signals in position locations, you come back into all levels into the wall. This is what a wall looks like when you see the particle system. So when you go in calculations, you go back into all levels. Let's start off the sequence locations to all positions. All right. So it's all understanding how to use 0, 1. Now, 0, 1, it tracks center. Now, try to understand that the number sequence is all levels of you through behavior line center. So let's say you go through 0, okay, 0.1, and then you go into 2, and then 3, and then 4 in position locations. So you're starting off the day with 0 line center, point locations, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you bracket 1, 4 in position locations. High channel, it's 2 and 3 equals its equation. Okay. So you can travel through that all levels to its ground line system. See the interpretation? See the intelligence? See the eyes? You see the intelligence? Look here. I'll show you. Everything is intelligence. We said that before, right? Here's the eye line centers. There it is. There's the intelligence. See it? See the intelligence? Formation coming in. There it is. Ooh-ah. All right, so in calculation modification, high streams equal is all levels. Now, it's curious to understand how you use the triangle interference. Now, you got your northwest, south, and east line conditions. Okay. It's powerful stuff when you use it through calculation, right? So it's all channel line center. Everything that you do through the particle system has no separation in your body. It's all through triangulation of force. So it's amazing when you do these things, the calculations, guys. I'm just showing you in so many levels how you use a graph line center or anything position location. So if you're coming into this, okay, you have to truly understand what you're seeing through position. Okay, just try to understand how it's all allocated through you through visionary cortex lines. Okay, modifies signals, location to its system. So anything out of track will be a different number, okay, or out of number, or out of sequence, or out of code, or out of triangle, out of force, out of outline, center, interference in position, location, line conditions. You guys are in this position. Now, you have to understand the high line centers. So the 4 line centers are weaving location. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start there. 4 line interference. Now, position location is all levels. Now we got 3 line centers. 1, 2, 3. All right. 0, 1, 0. There's 3. Okay. And then you got 0, 1, 1. Okay. You got 0, 1. Okay. You got another 1. So that's 1 and 1 equals 2. Right. So that's 0.2. Now that 0.2 goes over here in position location to line conditions because you're changing behavior line and rotation. So it's true to understand that the particle system and its cells is its cell generation light center. Now it's all about understanding how to use your thoughts and bring yourself going forward, and it's all digitalized your location to 0, 1s. How to use the 0, 1 is the particle system locations to your placebo. How to use the visionary cortex to its connection. All right. So if you're going into 0.2, you can go into 3, you can go into 4, you can go into 5, you can go into 6, and you go into 7. High position location line conditions, right? So you can channel down in rotations. You can do this through high line interference. Your body is miraculous inside through point location. It's all through particles, cells, and atoms. It's everything through graph line center. So you can stream interference, you can bring back in calculation modifications, you can weave systems in this position. All right. So when you get into calculations at all levels, it's all about understanding is that you can high division your high numbers or you can low division your low numbers. It doesn't matter. What matters is everything through its balance and its location to its equation. Truly understand that the harmonic resistance is calculations at all levels. 1, 3, and 5 is calculations of odd. 2, 4, and 6 is even. That calculates all level division locations through your thought patterns. What you're doing through your cortex is your connection. Okay? So it's very powerful how you use the data stream. Okay? Are we all confused? So it's incredible when you travel. So each one of your avatars will understand the vibration that is given to you. I've tracked your line centers, your particle interference. Each one is given to you through high position. So basically, you understand it because you guys are higher reaching its higher levels now through calculations, right? But it's amazing how you see things through a wall. It's true to understand. We start with this from the very beginning locations. You got to get into your 12s of letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols. So once you come into that, you come into this, right? All at once. So triangle equals everything, a form. everything of form. Triangle equals everything of form. It's the energy process communication. Process equals communication, right? That's your calculation modifications, the levels of your triangles to your PC, right? Program setting, positioning program center. So it equalizes its specifications to all those equals form, right? So it gets complicated, but don't complicate the connection. Try to understand how to use shapes, letters, and numbers and symbols as intelligence. That's how you get balance with your cortex. Mystical line connection interference. So mystical is its connections to a psychological. That's the position where you come into your astral travels and your astral projections, sequence patterns, high travel division, right? Coming into the cosmos, coming into the galaxy, coming into the universe, right? So it's very powerful when you understand more levels of its position. But you guys are here in track center of 0, 1, right? Behavior line center location, zero gravity, point line one rotation and position, 1, 1, 1, 1.01. That's where you guys are right now. Right now. So that's the portal location, first time, 369. Point zero line center is the docile communication to 0.1, which is your telepathy of communication to yourself, to each other through telekinesis. That's the division locations that you're going to live on. So once you understand the letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols, out of all 12 line center rotation interference, you come into position location line conditions. So in calculation, 12 times 12 is 144. Okay? So you got to start off your tracks of 12 DNA. That's the process communication cycle. It high channels its position locations to its calculation. Right? Once you understand that division location, you understand fully who you are through all location. Nothing but electrical light and high center. Box interference, high position location line conditions. Right? To understand all levels of you through your position. I'm showing you so many different connections of drawing line centers of travel. How to travel through the mind line rotation, how to go through high rotation interference, electrical light connections, power generation light center, solar direction interference, energy field position location, right? All connections to all levels to your ground system. Torical field line center, Norcal line center location disposition, right? Into your tetrahedron location to its division. Travel is very important to understand, guys, because it formulates all levels of view, cross signal interference and position locations, high channel high line center. You can change the correlation to its connections, right? And octahedron, higher teleportation light to connection. See how that works? So I just shown you why it's so important that you have to understand all levels of you through all connections of your data stream. Gets complicated, right? So it's like reading the keyboards on a computer, and it's true to understand all levels. Okay, so you got one line center. Okay, you got W in position location equals equation. All right, so the high line center interference locations, all levels. So that's bracket high line center universe linear rotation. Calculation, okay, equals box. Okay, so modification line centers equals caps, communication line channel. In position location shift, all right, equals anomaly, okay, equals space in high rotations and calculations. Bounce signal, okay, equals equation location. See how that works? And now you're traveling through it. So that's how things work out. Once you understand that you are calculated and modified on transmitting and receiving information, it's extremely powerful how to use this through its equations, guys. You have to find a way to get out of these situations to its provision. It helps you out and always informs through all tactical view. All right. But it's incredible how you travel. Okay. I'm just showing you basic understanding. I know it's extremely complicated for a lot of people, but these Ascended Masters will pick it up, and every position will get a GFL, the rebellion, all that. For all the new viewers, just concentrate on all levels. Let's just start with one letter, E. E is a traveling position locations. It's behavior line center. It's just E. What does E represent to you? It could be energy. It could be anything. It could be an elephant. Okay? It could be an egg. So E is everything. E equals everything. Okay? So mass equals nothing equals everything. Location. All right? We've gone through that before. So it's to understand that every letter is representation of you to every behavior line center location to its graph interference that programs locations to its calculations, to its system. Okay? So it may not make sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me. It's integrating your whole levels and your whole body transaction interference locations to all calculations to your data stream. So it's incredible when you do these things. I'm just showing you so many practical systems, right? Key, just a key, right? Equals equation, all right? So key equals equation, but what is the key through equation? Remember, anything through equalized center is all levels of teleportation, scanning system locations. That's how you travel through it. So it's highline center and scan position of Y. Y comes into all levels. Y equals X, okay, equals ground lines, the calculation, right? So you're setting the key force line position locations to its equation of its energy. The rotation interference location is scanning its highline center to its ground line center location to its crop circle. Setting course line center to X equals X high position locations, or you can change that to plus line in position locations. High division locations equals ground line center. Ooh-ah. All right. So it's incredible how you travel all through your data stream. Very powerful class today, eh? First, understanding your transformation, your communication, your avatar. Once you understand the grounds, the powers, the atmospheres of you, then you can truly understand how to use it. Once you understand how to use it, you can understand the chakra system of what it is. It's behavior line channels, it's communication, T reception of the location of the sun, and communication of the moon, of its Wi-Fi. Its modem line center is its position location to its motion sensors. It opens all track line center locations to all levels. Right line center, left position locations, eye division locations, ear line rotation interference, panel line interference location and calculation. Truly understand how to use your chakra system is all connected to your visionaries, okay, to your cortex of placebos, okay, thought positions, thought centers, thought activation line connection. Truly understand how powerful it is, okay? So you really have to go from inside, and the only way to do that is to remember who you are, right? That provision is location to its calculation. It puts you in a better time of space and modification, right? But I just want to show you how powerful it is to see things like this and how it's all calculated and modified all through you, through particles and atoms and cells, photons, protons, electrons, and neutrons. Anything division location gives you all levels of geographical map of you through calculation, done by equation. So where are we here? All right, so I'm going to channel off. Yeah, there's a lot going on. All right, so it's interesting you guys are traveling through code signals. All right, I guess I have a big, humongous plasma connections to all levels. All right, there's the screen line center. All right, and take you guys out of code signal line interference locations, coming back channel in position locations, coming to outline center in position into screen interference, done through equation. All right, you guys are here. Now you're out of the plasma screen interference. All position, location, and line connections done by equation. You guys are back. All right. So that's how things work all through top rotation lights. All right. That was a lot of fun. Make sure you drink your water. Questions or comments are asked afterwards. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you on TikTok. Adios.